Hi everyone, Richard here from RIT Photography, and today I'm going to be talking about SD memory cards. Now, I know what you're going to be saying, I can hear you from here, but Richard, an 8GB SD card is an 8GB SD card is an 8GB SD card. While that's true at a very basic level, hopefully after this video I'm going to demonstrate to you there are a lot more differences to SD cards than first might appear, and by the end I'm going to show you the little differences that can make a big difference to your photography. So with that in mind, let's dive right in. Secure digital, or SD memory cards as they're more commonly known, are probably one of the most common types of portable storage media around. They can be found in a whole range of devices such as digital photography cameras, digital video cameras, mobile phones, portable media players, and even in-car dash cams use them for storage. In terms of their physical size, or form factor, full-size SD cards are generally more common ones in terms of photography. However, with the advent of small mirrorless compact cameras, micro SD cards are becoming much more prevalent. Micro SD cards can also be fitted into full-size SD adapters. This allows them to be used in a full-size SD card slot. There was a third form factor called mini SD, which sat between micro and full-size SD cards. However, this was invented in 2003 but went by the wayside in 2008, and these are no longer used anymore commonly. So we've talked about their form factor size. Now let's talk about these two acronyms, SDHC and SDXC. Secure Digital High Capacity, or SDHC as it's more commonly known, was the next variant of the standard SD card, and as the name suggests, it could hold a lot higher capacity. Whereas the standard SD card could only hold up to 4GB, the SDHC cards could hold up to a 32GB, making for a huge increase in size on the 4GB capacity. Secure Digital Extended Capacity, or SDXC as it's more commonly known, is the latest variant of the SD card, and as with its predecessor, the SDHC card can hold a lot higher capacity, this time up to 2TB, making for an even bigger increase. This is particularly useful for people like videographers who can shoot many gigs worth of data in a few minutes of footage. So if you're buying a new memory card, the most likely thing you're looking for is its capacity. But how do you know that 4, 8 or even 16GB card that you're buying will hold enough photos? Well, with some simple mathematics we can figure this out. 1GB is actually 1024 megabytes, so if you have a 4GB card it's actually 4096 meg. However, after formatting and some other factors taken into consideration, this will be a bit less. So let's say that your camera outputs files that are circa 20 megabytes in size. If we take 4096 and divide it by 20, we'll find that that memory card that you're looking at will roughly hold about 204 photos. Now, as I said, this is a rough number for two reasons. Firstly, when you take a photo, the files that are outputted aren't exactly 20 meg each time. They could be 19.7, they could be 18.1, they could be 21.2. But in terms of rough numbers, let's work with 20. The second reason, and as I mentioned earlier, is when you format a memory card you don't get the full capacity. So again, a 4096 megabyte card will probably format down to about 3800. So again, you're going to lose some there, but we're roughly looking at somewhere in the region of about 190 pictures. Again, you can figure out at this point if that's enough for you or whether you need to buy more than one card or a larger card. After capacity, the card speed is the next most important thing, and in some ways could actually be the most important thing for you. I know speed is certainly one of the things I look for when I'm buying a memory card. A card that's able to write faster to itself will take the photos that you've just taken, whether it be 1 or 20, and write them to the card much quicker. Now, obviously there are going to be people out there who want the biggest card for their book, and in terms of speed they aren't bothered. People who do maybe landscape photography or portrait photography who aren't interested in quick recycle times may go for the route of the bigger storage card. However, people who do quite high intensity photography such as sports or gig photography, they're going to want to recycle times that are much faster, and therefore speed is king. As with most things in technology, nothing is ever made simple or easy to understand, and this was one of the main motivations for this video. When SD cards first came out, they came out with a relatively easy to understand class system. The class system came in 4 variants, 2, 4, 6 and 10. These numbers married up to the minimum sequential writing speed that the cards were capable of, i.e. a class 2 was able to write 2 megasecond, a class 4 4 megasecond, and so on and so forth through 6 and 10. Then in 2009 a new speed rating came out called the Ultra High Speed Class Rating, or UHS. So there we go. Hopefully after the last few minutes you'll have a much better understanding of SD cards, their size, their capacity, and all the weird markings on the front of them. If you have any questions, thoughts, or just general comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you'd like to see me talk about anything else in detail, again, please leave those suggestions below and I'll get back to you all as quickly as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye. After I talked about SD cards, I thought I'd throw a bit of bonus information at the end of this and how to get the best performance out of your cards all time. When it comes to memory cards, it's important to keep them in as good a shape as possible so you get the best performance out of them. The best advice I can give you when it comes to SD cards and keeping them healthy is to format them regularly. Personally, I will format my SD cards on my cameras at least every other shoot, if not every shoot. I'll make sure the photos are backed up both, in at least 2 different places, and then I'll format the card in the PC and in the camera. It's important to do it in that order because once you put it back in the camera and format it in there, it puts a folder structure back in place that the camera is expecting. Regularly formatting your cards ensures that you're working with the largest amount of capacity possible in the fastest performance possible. Some people prefer to delete photos on the card in the camera photo by photo. And while this works okay, it can leave traces of the old photos that have been deleted. This can lead to the memory card filling up unnaturally and can cause corruption on the memory card. Another reason for not deleting in camera is that you might accidentally delete a photo that's quite important or a good one that's a keeper, and if you delete it, there's no way of getting it back apart from expensive recovery software. So there we have it. That was a little bonus few minute video. And yeah, just that's my 2 penneth worth. That's what I always do. I always take the photos off the card, back them up in at least 2 places, and then format in PC and then format in the camera. As I said, formatting the camera is particularly important. It recreates the folder structure and maintains the highest level possible performance out of your card. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you on the next video. Bye bye.